Welcome back to the channel, guys. I just finished doing my friendly fights, Sunday Funday night friendly fights, and then I jumped on feeding my dudes before the event ended. I went ahead and spent 3 gems to hatch Zagar so I could feed him, and then I fed some pterodactyls. Uh, so the only thing I'm doing in the game is still catching up on race cells, and then I guess the gold event is about to start, so I want to keep my gold all collected. So as you guys can see, I do not have any gold saved up before this event starts. That way I can use the gold event every time it comes around to actually measure how much gold I technically make. That's the way I look at it. It's sort of like every time it comes around, I try to score higher on it without collecting any gold, and then when I get to where I know that I can make top 5k by pre-collecting, I will go ahead and do that. But most of my halves are not legendary anyway, so it doesn't matter about pre-collecting. Once all my pandas are gone and they become legendary halves with monsters or mythic halves with monsters, then it's more relevant that I pre-collect. But tonight's video is going to be basically me reacting to calling out a free-to-play player to fight in Discord that everyone in Discord talked up, saying that, you know, this person's so pro, I'll never beat him, blah, 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 blah. And then we fought. So I just want to give you guys, my audience, a view of what happened. I've only been playing 10 months. I'm pretty sure this person's been playing for years. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm close behind him? I think I misplayed and stuff, but I'd rather talk about it while it's happening. So here's the fights. So the real reason why I left Dungeon Boss was because you couldn't do this in Dungeon Boss. You couldn't call players out. But supposedly this was supposed to be a free-to-play that I could not defeat. And right away I noticed that he's using, you know, almost area dodge, taunt. It's basically the same concept, except if you let their Angelica go off, or I mean their Madame go off, then you're losing. I still wasn't even sure if I was going to win this fight because I don't own a Madame and I'm not 100% familiar with her. I just know that she can trait disable extra turn and transfer turn. But I didn't know if he was going to be able to transfer turn and back to her and keep going or what. Like, because I didn't have an anticipation monster and I'm used to defeating Madame with like Rag. Meaning if I knew I was going against Madame, it'd be easier to use like someone who has Anticipate and Nerd like Raku or Rag, but none of those would have been good in this matchup anyway, just because of Erder, which Erder is definitely a free-to-play beast. But the Nerd definitely saves me. It basically like puts me back in the driver's seat. So I was pretty much after that Nerd 100% confident that I got this fight in the bag. Yeah, so there's not much going on in here except me cleaning up the rest of this fight. I just didn't want to make any mistakes, so I basically am slow rolling. So a lot of times I like to stack bleed and poison on their attacker or whoever they have the strength runes on because it's like a 40% power reduce. But other than that, there's not much to see here other than cleaning up. Also, his Erder is ranked 130. I've seen higher free-to-plays. There's a guy named Zaid who's got like a 140 free-to-play, which, I mean, maybe he's free-to-play. I guess when I'm starting to look for these pro free-to-play players, it's starting to get questionable if they're all even free-to-play, because, I don't know, I just have my doubts. Like, some of them will lie and tell you they've only played for, you know, 2 years, and then I see that they have Vanos Habitat, which is a 4-year-old hab almost. Alright, so we run it right back. I brought the same team. I guess I could, technically, I guess if we were, you know, if I'm seriously trying to defeat this man, I should have brought a different team because he was bringing a counter to my team and I should have changed something up. But even when I seen his counter, I was pretty confident that I had this fight until this point, where it's my Nora's turn, and I'm used to one-hitting a Rag, and I can't one-hit this Rag. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? So you're free to play, and I can't one-shot your rag. It's 130. I'm like, okay, well then you've been playing for years. But the disconnect, I felt like he didn't know that I couldn't kill his rag in one hit. So he left the game to try and get him a different status caster effect, meaning when I slow rolled the hit, he was probably thinking, oh man, he's deciding whether or not to kill my rag or kill my Graken. And he left the fight. Maybe his game crashed or whatever, but that's like how people used to do when I played against Maroc, man. Like, they'd be like, oh, my bad, I forgot to change the runes, or my bad, I forgot this or that. And really, you're just trying to bait a different starting caster effect, like hoping that when you come back into the next game, it's going to be evade. And since I believe that was what was up, I tried to change my strength runes to see if I could kill Rag in one hit. Because I knew that if I could kill Rag in one hit, the fight was mine. If he was bringing the same team, which I presumed he was, otherwise I straight up won the second fight, along with the first one, which we were doing 2 out of 3, basically because that's what Discord said, which that makes sense to me. I'm going to do all my call-out fights from now on as best 2 out of 3. But where does someone get Max Morg's armor as free to play? That is some crazy luck, because you would have only been able to get it recently from a chest. That's like the only way. So definitely would have been super lucky to get that as free to play. And how do you get a ranked rag 130? Is I guess you keep playing forever. But the fact that I couldn't kill his rag, I should have paid more attention in this fight, because my first attempt at actually bringing a counter to his team was the third fight. And I was expecting to just bring a counter to rag, meaning I felt like I could beat anything he could throw at me except this 130 rag, because that's a king of free to play. Like, I can't, like, I couldn't imagine how much more powerful I'd be with a 130 rag if, on my free to play account. So thinking about what to bring versus rag, I knew I wanted to bring my main team, which is no tank, and it's bring Ignis, and use Ignis to damage boost my Nora. And then usually that's enough. I've never seen something not get KO'd from my boosted Nora with the Ignis, but at the same time, I've also haven't went against somebody who put a life 10 on a 130 rag, which is a smart play. I mean, it definitely did exactly what it's supposed to do, but along with Morg's armor, though, like, put your rag out of my ability to hit. So yeah, I was pretty irate to lose that fight. I thought just adding an extra strength to Nora was going to be enough, but it was not enough. So I knew I needed to do something. I basically told him good game in Discord and that I wanted another. And then that's when I decided to change some things up. It was time to bring a rag counter. The appropriate team is just my main team. I should have brought my main team, which is right there. That's my main team. The runes are set up right, everything. That is my main team, just the way that is, just like that. And then I don't know what, I changed it back to his strength like it used to be, like just in the fight where it wasn't enough to hit him. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to be definitely enough to kill him, but I need to check the speed and make sure the speed is correct. And I thought 9,700 speed, that's fast enough, right? Like, he's got Graken. Graken's only got, 9,300 and some speed. Give or take, a team speed somewhere. If he puts team speed, his rag's going to be lower, so I don't know where he's going to put team speed. So that's what I thought was the right call, whereas I really didn't look at this. This is the first time going against the team with wearing the speed rune on Nora. As you can see, I'm clearing the armor for 50k, plus doing 60k raw damage. That's 110. Meaning, without wearing an extra strength rune, if I double my Nora's damage using Ignis, I would be able to hit for 220k straight up with that rune setup. And then this is the second fight where I changed my runes to all strength, and I still hit for 144k just like that. which to me that means with the way my runes are normally set up, wearing speed on Nora with Ignis should be enough to kill this rag without needing to bring extra strength runes. He would have to put more life on it, bring team life, something, and a good chunk of it. Alright, so we're about to do the third fight. I'm just waiting on him to bring a third team, meaning he's used 3 different teams in the fight, and I've only used 2. I just messed with my runes. And this is going to be the second team that I've brought. And both of them teams, if you've been watching my channel, you know, they're my teams. They're what I play with. Meaning it's not like I didn't bring counters for this guy, really. I played me and seen if he was good enough to beat me without having to hawk his team. Which, by the way, I mean, he's running the same stuff that most of the people I play against in PvP are running. So, I mean, that's why it probably feels like my team's a counter to your team. It's like, yeah, I'm a counter to the meta, bro. I'm trying to beat the meta. I'm trying to be the best free-to-play in the game. And this is how we do it, is we call out free-to-play players that are supposed to be at the top of the game, and we put the ham to them if we can. But I don't know what's taking so long, so I'm going to Discord, and oh yeah, I definitely, right there, I tell him, you know, and no more disconnecting rag triggers, like that's just totally not cool. I feel like anyone who brings a status caster random effect and they exit the game or they disconnect on you, that should be counted as lost. You had a random status caster, but thank God the game just let it cast the same exact one the next time, so it didn't become relevant at all in the fight. But he probably didn't know I was recording, which means he would have just said whatever in the chat. I don't know how these people are. I don't know people. Like, I tried to add him on Discord. He didn't accept my friend request, so I don't know what kind of person he is. I don't know anything about this guy. I just knew that everybody said that he was going to smash me and that he was the best, or he was one of the best free to play, and that I didn't stand a chance. And I'm just a noob. Right away, as soon as I see the lineup, I knew I wasn't winning this fight. I just was like, how the hell is this Graken faster than me? And then that's when I realized, yeah, you brought a different monster that has more team speed on it. And if I would have brought my regular damn team, I still wouldn't have been able to damage boost. Or, I mean, I would have been able to damage boost and then use the purr from Tanya to get rid of Mega Taunt, and then my Nora would go before his Graken, and before this tank, and be able to one-hit KO his Rag with double damage from the Ignis, and then it would be my 3 versus his tank and Graken, which is a my fight all day. So after that, this is what I call dead man walking. It's where you know you lost the fight, you know you can't win the fight, but you got to play it out anyway. So I play it out, and I'm just so upset the whole time that I brought the wrong rune, that it was just a huge mistake to bring this extra strength rune and not the speed rune. And I really don't even know why I did it. I guess it was just like trying to hurry and panicking and thinking that I needed more than I actually needed to do something. And yeah, so misplay, definitely stupid choice. Should have just ran my damn main team the way I always run my main team and did what I do best, which is win. So anyway, the reason why I made this video tonight is because I wanted your all's opinion on it, and definitely if you know any top free-to-plays in the game that claim to be the best or think they're the best, let me know, because I'm trying to climb the ranks, man. These are the people that I'm setting as my targets to pass these players and become the best in the world. So if you know someone out there, I've met this guy and Zaid so far that were top free-to-plays or what have you, that, you know, think, oh, I'm not that good. And I try to tell them, like, look, I've only been playing 10 months. You guys don't even have a clue. Like, I exponentially grow, meaning in 20 months, I'm going to be double as strong as I am right now, meaning I don't cap. Like, this isn't my cap. This isn't my peak. This is just, you know, 10 months in to however long I decide to play the game, and it's looking like it's going to be somewhere around a year and a half, I guess, unless they make dramatic changes to the game to make it more enjoyable for late game. I think this game's going to get a year and a half out of me. So anyway, this is where I got to go do the Walk of Defeat, and I guess I didn't really have the words to put it, on how to say basically like you only won because I didn't change my rune. And I said that you only won because I forgot to change my rune, which that's not exactly true. That's like a devil's lie because I should have forgot to. I mean, I changed it and then I changed it back. And then I went and checked my speed, and I should have went and just changed it back to the original team, but for whatever reason, I just thought like, oh, I'll be fine with 9.7k speed, and that was the downfall of my whole match. Um, so then I come and I see that he's already shared like both screenshots that like he beat me in Discord, so he gets the bragging rights. But also during the whole fight, I've had this, like strong. How the hell are you free to play with a Morg's armor and a 130 rag? I just don't comprehend. The only thing I can think of is you've been playing forever and you got super lucky recently and pulled that Morg's armor. And it just so happens to be what you needed to beat me. So yeah, because like it totally wiped my tank out too. Like it's pretty crazy. But tonight, when editing this video, for the first time, I seen that right there. And when I seen that, I was like, what the hell is that? That's Blaze. That's pay to play. And he says, I'm pay to win now. Okay, well, that means you were pay to win when I fought you. Like, you are not free to play. I asked before we ever even fought. I was like, hey, if you're free to play, I want a 1v1. And we ended up 1v1ing. So, I mean, you gotta watch players on this game. I think they're all shit shiesty, but at the same time, like they're young, man. I've played games for 25 years, so I'm not as shiesty anymore. I used to be shiesty when I first started playing games, but not anymore. But there's how I should have ran my damn team, just like that, and I think I would have crushed them. So basically, what do you guys, my audience, think? Do you think that I should try to look for more free-to-play opponents, or I should probably work on my account and get it a little better before I go calling out more players? Because every month that we wait, our account gets so much better. Meaning, if anybody's out there trying to brag about beating me, they better get it over with quick because I only get better every week. And if you're going to spend to beat me, you're going to have to spend and keep spending because I'm going to keep growing and growing and growing, and that's the way I like to play games. But I'm well aware that spenders, can thrash me. And then you got people like that Thanos or whatever who's like, I'll just use free-to-play monsters. Like, that is nowhere near close to the same as being free-to-play. If you don't believe me, try making a free-to-play account and getting as far as I have with it, as fast as I have with it. And you'll realize that you got to manage your resources. You can't just have all your cakes and candies and be able to play with free-to-play monsters and call it free-to-play. That's like saying, oh, what if I spend $1,000 but I only spend it on free-to-play stuff and I still call myself free-to-play? Maybe they're doing that. I don't know. Later. Alright guys, so that's my reaction to I call it a call out fight earlier today, and it's not necessarily that I called him out. I was basically calling Discord out at trying to tell me that I couldn't beat that free to play. Because when I looked at his account, he did not look like he was going to be hard to beat, and I still don't think he would have been hard to beat if I just wouldn't be me and be the king of misplays like I always am. But this is his team. If you scroll down, he is this guy right here. Uh, yeah, so he did bring his attack team. I brought my attack team minus not. I bring Santa every time I go in a human versus human fight, and it's not because of his team. The reason why I bring Santa is because of this monster right here. A lot of players bring it, and I can't touch it without having a Santa with me in human versus human fights. So that is why I brought Santa. And if you've seen on my channel, you see that when I do friendly fights, I use Santa a lot. Why? Because Ignis just doesn't cut it if you're going to CDA me. But yeah, when I look over this account, I didn't see any reason that I wouldn't be able to beat this guy. Like, I still don't. Meaning, I think if he wants to rematch some more, I think I piece him up. Like, what do you guys think in my channel? And definitely, he's not free to play, is he? If he's got this guy, like, just tell me how he's free to play with that guy. I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend how he's free to play with a lot of this stuff, man. Like, well, he doesn't have a max Morg's armor. He's only got level what is it? Level 14. Somebody had a Titus armor too, I think. I seen a Titus armor when we were in the battle, so... Oh yeah, there it is. That guy's the one who had it. Anyway, those are his monsters. So yeah, like, what do you guys think in the chat? Like, the other guy that claims to be free to play, that I've also got footage of battling him, and we're like 2 for 2 even. But let me see. He sits at the top. I will go ahead and open this while I'm here. Pray for some Froma. I've already got a rank 130 cooking, but I will take it. I have not beat a 150 Heist team yet. Heist is pretty crazy at the high ranks. And anyway, the dude at the top, he claims to be free to play as well. And he's using, well, I tell you right now that he must have been PvPing recently or something, because that's not, he runs the Wormlad and Ignis's spot over there. Pretty much on attacks and defense, and then when he human fights, he uses Santa, Erder, any of the 6 you see up there basically, and he mixes and matches them. Which, I mean, that's expected. That's basically what most players do, is mix and match their 6 best. But he likes to brag about how he doesn't have to do very many attacks and that he scores so high. Whatever. That's not why I even come over here. What I come over here for is this motherfucker told me he's only been playing 2 years, and he actually called me out on Discord when I shared my most proud accomplishment on this game, which was making top 500 in 10 months in 1 day. And that was on Discord in the free-to-play chat, and he commented, "Is that a joke? Tons of us have done that, blah blah blah." This guy is so full of shit. He just recently, in the past couple of months, when Erder became meta, has been making top 500, and that's all there is to it. And he likes to complain about how he got 110. I'm kind of glad he got 110. I feel like he deserves it, man. You're running a copycat team anyway. In Magic the Gathering, we call it people like you net deckers, meaning you just wait to see what wins and then you try to copy it. And they'll change shit up usually. Like, they'll change 1 card in their deck or 3 cards in their deck so they can say, "Oh, it's not the same deck. I put my twist on it." It's like, yeah, you made it worse. And they'll change their runes on a team and say, "Oh, they do shit differently." It's like, yeah, whatever, man. But why I'm coming here is because I need my audience, if you know much about free-to-play, a lot of you knew about Tanya's whatever skin and stuff. This habitat up here, this Vanos habitat, where does it come from? How do you get one? I tried to Google it, and everything on Google said that it was almost 4 years old, that it would be 4 years old in November. If that's the case, that means this player is a complete liar. He told me he's been playing less than 2 years, close to 2 years. And that right there would mean, no, bro, your account is almost 4 years old at least. And if his account's almost 4 years old and he says it's only 2 years old, how do I know that's the only thing he lies about? I mean, how do I know he didn't spend money for Graken cells or something? I don't know, which, I mean, it's most likely not. But he's got a rank 4 Thasla, like, I mean, the other guy had a rank 5 Rag. But anyway, this is what it's looking like when I'm looking for the top best players in the free-to-play. Like, if you're watching my channel and you know free-to-play, please drop their name in the comments. I'm looking for goalposts to pass. Spenders are not really my goalposts to pass. They're like my workout regimen to pass these free-to-play. I came to this game specifically to pass free-to-play. You can look at the first video I made on Monster Legends. I told you guys I came from Dungeon Boss, and I told you what my plan was. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been coming to my channel, and there's somebody that wanted me to shout them out, and they don't have very many subs. When I subbed to them, they only had 4. And I know that it can be hard when you first start your YouTube channel to get people to sub to you, especially if you don't have like real life people you know to go and sub to you to get you started, because the more people that sub to you, the more chance that your stuff gets passed on. So let me get his name real quick. Alright, so the boy's name for his channel is Leo Jago, or Leon Jago. So if you got free time, go sub him. He does looks like he wants to make PvP content, so I was just hoping maybe we could motivate him into making some more videos. And if you tuned into my live stream, you've seen that I only used the Black Feather team once, and it became very obvious to me that it was not going to be a good team for friendly fights. And the reason for it is, every match is going to take like 5 minutes, and that is not very respective to the people that are waiting in line to battle. So I gotta think of a better idea for that, but I will be practicing more with the team and getting better with it so that I can use it. I did hatch the Zangar and feeding. I haven't set his skills yet, and we did get lucky and get the 3 open sockets. So while I'm here at the end of this video, I can set his skills, and then I can be done with my video and go nighty nights. Possession and daze to one enemy. That sounds fine to me. Deals moderate damage to all enemies. Applies curse to all enemies. No, that's not really that good. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy. Gives 25. That's not really that good. Applies guard down and positive effects block to all enemies. I don't really think that's kind of too specific. Applies curse and block effects to one enemy. Again, I don't know. Applies nightmares to all enemies. Deals low magic damage to all enemies. Deals low magic damage to all enemies. Did I read that twice, or did it say it twice? It said it twice, right? Applies stamina regeneration to all allies. I don't really think that's relevant either. Deals moderate special damage to all enemies. Applies stun and bleed to all enemies. That one's cool. I like that. Alright, so we got 2 moves so far. Then we got restores all cooldowns on itself. Gives 1 extra turn and removes 15% of life total from itself. And that doesn't cost anything. So yeah, that's definitely getting used. I don't really know when, how I'm going to be able to manipulate that one, but it's kind of cool, right? And it's a 0 cooldown move. So if we can not run this one, we can go for a better... let's see, multiple enemies, 1 enemy. Gains 25 stamina. Yeah, so I'm undecided on his 3rd move, or his 4th move. He doesn't really have a whole lot of good moves. But I guess we might as well go with the curse block positive effects on 1 monster. That could stop Mega Taunt from being recasted. Alright, and his relics, he'll be able to wear a cane and a Uriel's, and then his traits are res block and anticipation, which means he will be great to bring in versus the miserous Lonrad teams that we revenge once we get better with the Black Feather. So anyway, thank you to everybody who's been watching my channel, as I was saying. Thank you to everyone who's subbed. It's starting to take off, it seems like. We get a couple subs every day. And I feel like the more subs we get, the more chance our videos will get recommended to someone who hasn't seen them yet, and they will tune in and see what's up. So anyway, let me know if you can find me any more targets to try and pass, and then tune in to see how much gold I can make in a day in 22 hours, and tune in for tomorrow's video. Later.